Welcome, I'm Dr. Tom Warren, and you're watching The Plant Doctor. What we're going over today is my hummingbird sanctuary. We have planted several plants here next to my patio that attract hummingbirds, so we can sit out here in the mornings, drink some coffee, watch the hummingbirds come in and out. And do we have the hummingbirds this year? They are constantly moving in and out. So I want to share with you the plants that we're using to attract these hummingbirds, and hopefully it'll attract some to your yard as well. Let's get started. I believe the most important aspect of plant selection when trying to attract hummingbirds is just color. Birds are naturally attracted to reds and pinks. Anything that's skewed to the red spectrum of the color wheel, they're naturally going to be attracted to. What we have here over my left-hand shoulder, these are geraniums. There's two different cultivars of geraniums in here. We have red ones and we have pink ones as well. Geraniums are really good at attracting hummingbirds. Every morning we sit out here on the patio and we watch the hummingbirds come in, and they'll work these flowers really hard. Geraniums can take full sun to part shade, so even if you get shade in an area in an afternoon where you want to attract some hummingbirds, you can get away with growing some geraniums. As long as they're getting about 6 hours of sunlight a day, they're going to be happy. So consider geraniums when you're trying to attract hummingbirds to your property. The next flower I want to show you is Mandevilla. So Mandevilla has a red flower. This loves full sun. I have it here in a basket. It's also a little bit more drought tolerant than some of our other plants that we're looking at here. You can get away without watering this for a day or two, where if like geraniums are in a pot, you need to water them almost every day. But the hummingbirds just love this Mandevilla. So oftentimes what I see them do, they'll fly in, they'll get nectar out of these, and then we have our hummingbird feeder right here. Also notice when you go to buy a hummingbird feeder what color it is. It's red. So anything red, hummingbirds are just naturally attracted to. So they work these red flowers on the Mandevilla, and then they come up here to our hummingbird feeder and they just go back and forth between the two. But a great hummingbird attractant is going to be Mandevilla. Although it's not a red, the hummingbirds like this too, these purple petunias. You can get red petunias, so if you want to have petunias to attract hummingbirds to your yard, there are red ones available. I just planted purples because that's what was available at my local retail garden center. But petunias are good as well. Any flower that has almost that bell trumpet shaped flower, the hummingbirds really like. So our Mandevillas we just talked about, the petunias as well, the way their beaks are shaped, it fits really well into these flowers. So consider petunias when you're trying to attract hummingbirds. These were just recently planted, but they're going to get much larger than they are right now. But these are Lantana. And so Lantana can come in a myriad of different colors. You can have red Lantana, orange Lantana, yellow Lantana. I've seen them lavender, I've seen them white. But these are mixtures of reds and oranges and yellows. And what we see happen is where we were just at by the hummingbird feeders directly behind me is the hummingbirds, they'll come in and almost do a pattern. They'll fly in, they'll come to these Lantana, and they'll get some nectar off these Lantana, and then they go behind us, they hit the Mandevilla, they hit the hummingbird feeder, they hit the Petunia, and then they almost do that in reverse. They go back to the hummingbird feeder, they hit the Mandevilla, they hit these Lantana, and then they fly back off into these trees that are on the back side of my property. And they just do that all day, back and forth, back and forth. But Lantana is a great plant for hummingbirds. It's also a great plant for you if you're not really interested in having to water a whole lot. Lantana is drought tolerant. Once they're established, you water them maybe once a week and they're going to be fine. And also, if you're far enough south, this is a perennial. It's marginally a perennial for me here in North Alabama. If we have mild winters, it's fine. If we have an average winter, it's fine. This past winter was the winter of 2022. We had the Christmas flash freeze. I lost all of my Lantana. I had several big specimens of Lantana and they died and they never came back. So marginally hardy here, but if you're aligned, say Atlanta, Birmingham, Dallas, south, we'll throw Columbia, South Carolina in there to my east. If you're aligned there south, I really think this is a perennial for you no matter how cold. Even in your harshest winter, I think you could get away with growing Lantana and it would be a perennial for you. So a great plant to attract some hummingbirds. Another plant to consider is actually a bulb plant. This one here, not the daylilies in front of me, But this is Gladiolus. So Gladiolus come in a myriad of colors. This one's more of a purplish pink color. They come in oranges, they come in reds, they come in whites, or any color combination in between, really. Hummingbirds really like this one. This one got blown over last night. We had a big thunderstorm come through and it kind of pushed it down, but it'll pop back up here in the next day or two. But the hummingbirds, they come in. Here again, it has that long funnel-like shaped flower that the hummingbirds seem to really be attracted to. So if you plant some that have a reddish color, an orangish color, a purplish color, they're going to be attracted to the color. They're attracted to the flower shape as well. So consider planting some gladiolas to attract some hummingbirds. Guys, as always, thank you for watching The Plant Doctor. And until next time, happy gardening.